3.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Idiomatic Top 3.
With Nicholas, I am the gaming correspondent for Idiomatic.
And I am Dimitri, editor-in-chief of Idiomatic and movie critic. Following up on our last episode in which we discussed our top 3 overrated game shows, we're now going to flip things over and list our top 3 underrated game shows, and then follow it up with something I like to call the Electric Boogaloo Factory. That means we've got a lot of material to go through, so why don't you get us started right away, Nick?
My first underrated pick is The Price is Right. Because there have been a lot of qualms about Bob Barker is out of there. It's Drew Carey now, so it's horrible, and Drew Carey deserves to die, and he should be buried. And it's Drew Carey is doing a great job hosting it. It's different than Bob Barker, but it's still a lot of fun to watch. So everybody is crying that it's not as good and it's horrible now, and this show, that show is going down the crapper. No, it's the same show. It's as fun. Drew Carey's doing a great job. So, the Drew Carey run of The Price is Right would be my first underrated choice, because it's not as horrible as people say. It's still a pretty fun show to watch.
It's funny because I agree. I mean, even though I put it in my overrated picks, and mostly because I don't like the concept of the game. I think it's just luck, and I think it's silly.
Okay.
I agree with you. I think I have seen a couple of episodes with Drew Carey because I tend to leave the TV on when I'm working. Yeah. And he's fine. He's great. He's a little bit more self-aware than Bob Barker was. Like, Bob Barker is sort of leading the show, and you get the feeling of like he's still addressing housewives when he's doing the show. And Drew Carey is addressing a different audience quite clearly.
Well, I guess he's targeting it to the number one target audience for that show, which is college students, apparently. So I guess that show is made. That's where the models were a lot younger. Mm-hmm. And he's probably making it the show a little younger for the number one audience of that show.
Yeah, I think so, because he's more mocking, like not in a mean way, but like you can tell that he's not really taking the game all that seriously.
Yeah.
My first pick is going to be Dog Eat Dog, which is a show that ran between 2002 and 2003, so only one season.
Yeah.
And based on a UK franchise that was so successful, it ran between 2001 and 2002. One season.
Wow, that's super successful.
Yeah. And the concept of that game, for those of you who don't know it, and you can still catch it on Game TV, by the way, is you have a bunch of people who get to know each other during sort of a boot camp session, and then they play against each other in a game show. And the idea here is that they are presented with a challenge, either intellectual or physical, or usually a mixture of both.
Okay. And
they have to pick which of their opponents they want to send in there to get eliminated. And whoever gets the most votes gets to the challenge, and that person wins the challenge. They get to eliminate the person of their choice. So already there's a strategic question of figuring out who's going to suck the most at whatever challenge and who you want out of your way first.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. And then the challenges are really cool. Like they're a mixture of Wipeout with a little bit of trivia involved in them. Like usually they're over a big pool and they have to run on a treadmill that's like starting to incline slowly towards the pool, so they have to maintain balance while answering trivia questions, things like that. Those are really cool. These are really cool tests. Like, it's one of those game shows where, because of trivia aspects, I can participate at home, and also because they give you little clip shows of who those contestants are, you can go like, totally, I picked him for that challenge or whatever. So you can participate, but it's also one of those where you daydream of like, I actually would really love to be on that show. That show looks cool.
Yeah.
And plus there's Brooke Burns, who's really easy on the eyes.
I guess. Yeah, that's always helpful. Well, in that vein, another underrated one of mine is Wipeout. And that might seem surprising because I said I didn't like A Minute to Win It. But, I mean, and those shows can be seen as kind of similar, people doing crazy stuff for money. But it's completely different. I mean, Wipeout, the atmosphere is a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more fun. They tell the contestants, if you go on the Wipeout page, you need to bring your sense of humor and just have fun with it. Mm-hmm. And that's when they come to Wipeout. And the hosts are kind of fun too, and they their comments is fun. And although I can't participate, it's something I would love to do because, call me crazy, but that looks really fun to do. And I would just love to go and just have fun on the Wipeout stage just for one day. So it's really fun.
Yeah, it does look cool. I mean, I will admit that I haven't followed the show mostly because all the commercials I see is always people getting knocked in the balls.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I mean, I've seen America's Funniest Video. Do I really want to sit through an hour of that? Yeah. Because my problem with Wipeout is that I do not like the hosts making fun of the contestants. I don't think they're that witty. But the Canadian version, not at all.
Not at all.
And the American version, even when they're funny, I'm like, whatever. But the obstacle course looks super mondo fun, and that's what keeps me watching.
Yeah. You watch at the beginning of every new season to see the new obstacle course and what they changes they're going to make. It's great.
Yeah. I do want to be there. I do want to get hit in the back of the head by something. It just looks fun.
I would love to go do that. So, okay, I can't participate at home really, but I would just love to go there and just have fun, even if it's not for money. Just have fun there. It'd be great.
Yeah, no, and if you mentioned that they seem to treat it with a lot of humor, if that's the case, then that must be fun to watch. Right?
Yeah, they tell the contestants, bring your humor and just have fun with it. That's what they say for the audition process. Mm-hmm. So it's not like super serious, like a minute to win it. Okay, if you don't stack those 5 dice on a piece of stick, you're gonna die. It's like no, it's a lot more relaxed, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, we should totally register for Wipeout Canada.
I agree. I'm not a great swimmer, but I'll do it anyway.
Oh yeah, who cares? All right. My next pick. Well, here's a more traditional one: a chain reaction, or in Quebec known as action reaction. And if it looks like I'm taking a weird French voice whenever, it's because game show hosts in Quebec all have that voice. It's very weird.
Yeah.
But, the American version, I should say, Chain Reaction, the show that keeps dying and coming back. 1980, 1986, 2006, but...
Wow, you really researched that.
Totally. So the concept of the game, if you're not familiar with it, you have a chain of words, of 8 words. Only the first and last are revealed, and the 2 opponents try to get as many words as possible and get to the end first, one starting from the bottom, one starting from the top, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And the words are just linked through expressions and whatnot.
Yeah.
For example, dog and then leash and then leash collar and collar cop.
Yeah. Sometimes those contestants weren't great, so you were like, it makes you feel good when you get the words before them.
Yeah, it's true. So, did you have any more, or was that it?
I really like the funny shows, like one that was great, Fire Me Please, where people got a job. The owners of the shop knew, but the managers didn't, and the contestants had to be fired as close as possible to 3 p.m. without going over, and whoever was the closest one. So basically, you saw their day of them trying to get fired, and it's not a great concept, but it's effective. It works, and it was really funny seeing like how original the people could be in trying to be fired.
I got old fast though. I find that show. I watched maybe the first 3 episodes, and then it was like a lot of contestants do that.
There was only 3 episodes, so.
Oh really? Okay, so I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, it was a summer pilot, and it didn't get picked up.
Okay. I didn't even realize because I stopped watching after.
But I mean, one of the girls started like a "This Is Boring" song that she just started spontaneously out of nowhere, and the shop owner was the face of the shop owner. One of the shop owner was so scared when the contestant came back to say, it was all a game show. He had the guy get ready to call the police.
Yes, I remember that.
It was really funny. It was, so the funny things are great. So let's move on.
Yes, let's move on.
Also this summer, one of your favorite show came back.
Yes, it's for its 8th or 9th season. So You Think You Can Dance? I love So You Think You Can Dance. Love it. I want to have its babies.
Okay.
So it's like American Idol, but with dancing instead. And the big difference is that you can't fake dancing. You can sort of fake sing. You can sort of have karaoke level singing. You know? But dancing, you need the training. You just can't. Like, the number of people I've met in my life going like, oh, I want to learn dance. What, it takes 10 minutes. You just do these steps. It's like you've never tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's easy dancing. Grab 2 lightsabers and cat ears and just go in.
That wasn't this year, but that was one of the best moments ever. One of the contestants showing up with cat ears and 2 lightsabers. The best part about it, I've met her before in real life.
Really?
Yeah, I met her. I met her at a comic book convention, and she was presenting her stuff, and she had the cat ears. I kid you not, she had the cat ears. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, her drawings were very manga influenced. And,
Okay, I could see that with the cat ears. That makes and lightsabers. Yeah, again.
Yeah, I met her. I talked to her for a bit. Yeah. I never would imagine that she would show up on So You Think You Can Dance, give the most ridiculous audition I have ever seen. But
technically, in her makeup, they were lion ears, not cat ears. But the judges were trying to be fair to her too, and they did point out, when she tried to do the jump, like, oh, look at that elevation. She maybe lifted like 2 centimeters off the stage.
I know, it wasn't a jump, it was a skip.
I know. It's horrible, So even if, she had been great with the lightsabers and stuff like, the technique was not there for the dancing.
I don't know what she was thinking. I think she just wanted to be on TV.
I mean, I guess so. Because you could have made something look cool with the lightsabers, like, the dance with,
Oh yeah, you could have done some whacking with a lightsaber. The whacking is a dance where you move your arms around the wall.
Yeah.
With lightsabers, that could be pretty cool, actually.
Especially if you turn to, like, you yell, cue music and yell, turn the lights down, and you start doing it, that would look awesome.
That would actually be a little bit gimmicky, probably.
Yeah.
Probably not the best audition, but...
I guess not. But yeah, she was just, I don't know what she was doing, really.
It's just terrible. It's just terrible. I mean, there have been worse, but that one's memorable.
At least she stayed on the stage.
Yeah. Well, the best part about the getting off the stage is there's one year where it wasn't even the auditions. It was full on competition. They were about to announce the top 10, and they, when they're in the bottom 3, they have to do a solo dance number to show what they have. It's totally, they compose it. They're not following any choreography. And one of them, just dance. It was sort of lame, typical contemporary stuff where you kind of see the technique, but there's not really any soul to it. And then he leaps super far and misses the stage by about 3 or 4 feet. Falls into oblivion. The camera didn't even follow him because they didn't expect that at all. It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen contestants jump off the stage, but they pointed their intention first so the camera would know to, follow them there.
Yeah. They brought in some celebrities to do the judging, so they had Neil Patrick Harris. He was very funny.
Okay.
And they also had some really bad ones, though. They had Lady Gaga, and all she could point out was whether or not she liked it because it's eccentric. If it wasn't eccentric, she was like, eh. And it was like, this is a dance competition. Judge the dancing. Damn it.
That's what you get with celebrity judges. Sometimes you get judges that don't know exactly what they're talking about. I mean, even if they know what they're talking about, sometimes they're not the most entertaining ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to give an example. It's a sports competition, but I was watching a sumo competition on ESPN, and they had 2 commentators, and they had a sumo, an actual Yokozuna was there commentating with them. And he could not integrate himself in the conversation at all. And even when they tried to ask him a question, he just short answer, and that's it. It's who's going to win this one? He just said the name. Okay, why? They really had to. So judging, you think it's easy. Oh, I'm going to look and okay, it's good. It's not. It's actually a pretty hard thing to do it, entertainingly. You could be a great judge, judging on, okay, that's an 8.3. You know exactly your stuff. But if you can't express it properly, you're a bad judge. Or you can be very, very a good entertainer like Lady Gaga. But if you don't know anything about dancing, you're going to be horrible as a judge.
I agree. That was terrible. And Katie Holmes was the worst one, though.
I did not expect much from her, though. How bad was she?
Real bad. Well, Katie Holmes, she is a lifelong dancer.
Okay.
And a very good one at that, actually. So you expected her to be relevant, but she refused to say anything bad about the contestants ever. But did not know how to circumvent that. Because say what you will about poor Paula Abdul. She doesn't want to say anything bad about the contestants, but at least she says something.
Okay.
Whereas Katie Holmes would just sort of clam up because she didn't have anything nice to say, but she didn't want to say anything bad. So there would be this sort of black hole in the judges where it's say something. What's going on? And Kat Deely, the host, was sort of all right, moving on. I don't know what to do with this.
She follows the rule. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But
you shouldn't be judging in that case.
You shouldn't be judging. Neil Patrick Harris was good?
Yeah, he was good. He, of course, has a very strong Broadway background, so he knows about dance and all of that. And he commented, astutely, which was kind of nice actually.
Okay.
He's very good, and he was funny.
He's always funny.
Yeah. No, good guest judges. Just a few that were like Katie Holmes was a pain. Carmen Electra was terrible. Also, strong dancing background.
Really?
Yeah. She started as a dancer. Her career.
Okay.
But her problem was not like Katie Holmes. Like, because Katie Holmes, she's an articulate person. She's a smart person, but she just climbed up because she didn't want to say anything bad, which was sort of like, look, leave the PR aside, judge.
Yeah.
But Carmen Electra is not a person who can express herself very well, so it was really bad.
She can run well on the beach, though. That's
Oh, dude, she's gorgeous. She still is gorgeous. I think she's a really, really attractive woman. I worked on her DVD for fitness in bed thing, DVDs. I worked on that. It was a good day for me, man. It was a good day for me just watching Carmen Electra in bed.
I guess Paula Abdul also has kind of a dancing background too, but I guess she would not be a good judge for that.
Oh, she was asked, but she didn't want to do it.
Okay.
Like Survivor sort of skates outside of what is a typical game show, but I absolutely adore So You Think You Can Dance. The right people would. And unlike freaking the Canadian version, So You Think You Can Dance Canada is terrible.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason, the voters of So You Think You Can Dance, the American version, are people who seem to be interested in dance for real and know dance, and so the votes are very consistent with the level of performance of the contestants.
Okay.
So You Think You Can Dance Canada, it's first of all, you get the sense that people are voting for their province.
Yes, that happens a lot. It also happens with Canadian Idol, where it's really, there's grudges between provinces, and if you can't vote for your province, you're not going to vote for other provinces, and it happens a lot. So I can see that happening in Canada.
Yeah, it's very awkward. It's not good because of that. It's really weird choices.
And there's no popularity. I know, like another show, like it's Dancing with the Stars, which is just a popularity contest.
Oh yeah, totally is.
They can't dance. I mean, Kirstie Alley could not dance, and she ended up like in the top 3.
Right.
She's a horrible dancer. She's just very popular, and people want her to win because she's fat, and whatever.
I just can't believe it lost to Dancing with the Stars, man, in the ratings. I can't believe it got its ass kicked by Dancing with the Stars. Because apparently, the American viewers don't like dance in their dance shows.
Oh, they have a star and a dancer. So one of them knows what they're doing.
Yeah, a lot of them are actually alumni from So You Think You Can Dance.
Okay.
I don't know. It's because the one show where both people know how to dance. One show only half of them know how to dance. And you're right about the popularity contest. One of the problems as well is that the United States have this nice system to sort of offset peculiarities that might happen because of the audience. Because what happens is the audience votes for their favorite. The 3 who get the least votes are sort of put in the bottom 3 where they have to dance to sort of convince the judges to keep them on. And the judges actually base the overall performance of the dancer throughout the competition, not just that dance. So, they can course correct if the audience is a little bit off one week or whatever, As opposed to the Canadian ones where they have the same system, but the judges are cowards. They kept kicking out some of the dancers that they themselves like, and we were like, and a lot of people asked like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? And they were like, well, we just follow Canada's votes. And I was like, well, then why are you here?
That's funny.
And it's the reason why I stopped watching, because that answer offended me so much. Because they were like, well, we just went with Canada's votes. If you want your dancers to stay, then vote. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you're a coward because you're not even doing your job. You're the judge who's judging the bottom 3 to course correct. You're not even doing your job. And second, you want to blame your audience for your incompetence? Seriously?
Wow.
Really? Awful. And the judges are terrible. The last 2 judges, Trey and Jean-Marc Généreux, who's actually doing the Dancing with the Stars in France, apparently.
Oh, wow.
They're terrible judges. It's like, Trey always does the same thing, where she'll be like, and like move her arms about to remind you that she's black, which would be fine if it didn't feel so forced.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, okay? Canadians are not nearly as open-minded as the world would have us believe.
Yeah.
We have our prejudice issues like every other country. So trust me, the public knows you're black. Well, speaking of that, I'm just gonna digress. There's a group of rappers. Tristan Dilala. He's a rapper. He's a local rapper. Great. So he had his show at around Saint Denis. For those of you who are in Montreal or know Montreal, which is sort of the downtown entertainment.
Yeah, it's the entertainment district. They're building it. It's stuff just specifically for entertainment reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. And so after his rap concert, he went like, well, I just want to relax, have a beer with my friends, after the concert. And here's a bar that looks pretty empty. It was the Saint-Sulpice. I don't mind naming it because that actually happened.
Yeah.
And the bouncer went like, you can't go in. And I was like, what? I was like, dress code. For those of you in Montreal, at the Saint-Sulpice, there is no such thing as a dress code. That's complete garbage.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, but it's like, we're dressed fine, it's just a cab. It's like, nope, dress code, you can't come in. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll go to the bar next door. So go to the bar next door, and the guy goes like, you can't come in. Dress code. What dress code? Like, I'm looking through the window, the person that's the least well dressed here has, jeans, a baseball jersey, and a baseball cap. There's somebody dressed like that, a white guy dressed like that inside the establishment right now. So you can't tell me that's dress code. The problem is dress code. And the guy's like, we don't like your hip hop look. You can't come in. So they go back to the other sense of this, like, okay, look, this is ridiculous. I just had a show. I have the money. Like, why are you letting us in? It's like, and they tell him, like, his kind are just not wanted there. Like, this is 2011, Montreal. They won't let 6 black guys have a good time in their bar.
Well, I know where I'm not going to drink anymore.
Yeah, I agree. This is ridiculous. So, yeah, all this to say, there's no reason why Trey needs to remind us she's black. Apparently people are well aware.
Yeah, that's sad.
It's really, really sad. But anyway, so she'll be like, That's Trey, not Dilala. Yeah. Not the rapper.
That'd be bad rap.
Yeah, he's, no, unless it's TLC, it would be weird. It's like, it's like, Mamacita, this, that, and then move her arms around and then pass it over to Jean-Marc, who's the French-Canadian bunch. And he'll do always the same thing. He'll scream, come on, Canada, give it up to X, choreographer.
Yeah.
And it goes like, you guys, amazing. You're on, my hot tamale train or his version of that, whatever. Yeah. And it'll make a lame pun that never works because he doesn't actually really understand English language well enough to make a pun work.
Okay.
But it's always like that, like without exception. It's so terribly predictable to the point where I'm like, okay, blah, 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 fast forward. I'm like, I'm done.
How's the dancing though?
The dancing is great. The choreographers are solid, and the contestants are as worthy as the American contestants.
So I guess you just TiVo it and skip the judging.
That's what I started doing, but unfortunately the production values are quite terrible.
Okay.
Like the cameraman cannot film the dance number to save their lives, and you're like, you do realize you're a dance show, right?
Yeah.
You might want to get the producer that can do that. They also try to inject drama where there's no need. My favorite part during the trial auditions, I'm going to rant on this because this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
There's a girl who apparently, well, she presents herself to the judge and she's going to find out whether or not she's in the top 20 to be in the rest of the competition or not. And it goes like, hey, well, your name is La Piche or something like that. I don't remember. I was like, but apparently the producers tell me it's more like La Bitch. I was like, first of all, that's not okay.
That's wrong.
You don't call a contestant bitch without a cause.
Yeah.
Or at all. Come to think of it, you're on TV. Don't use that word like that. Not like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, well, the producers tell me like that you're a terrible person, blah 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 and blah blah. And all the while he says that, they don't show us any footage of her being a terrible person. And I'm like, you're a reality TV show, and you failed to capture reality? Wow, that's a fail?
That's horrible.
Like, if you're gonna accuse somebody of being a bitch on a reality TV show, show us the footage. That's what you are, a reality TV show.
Yeah, the people want to see that's why they tune into the reality show. They want to see the reality of it, not just hear about it.
Yeah. And they're like, well, apparently the producer says that was like, you didn't catch it on camera? Okay, then you must be lying.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it'd be like watching Hell's Kitchen and the show starts and, well, this was a horrible service. You did this and you didn't cook that. And I was like, well, what's the point?
It's like, apparently you don't get along with the other dancers, and they said that in front of the other dancers, and the other dancers came to her defense. I was like, no, we're fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's like, well, you're not going to tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I'm like, I am telling the truth. No, you're not. And I'm like, okay, you guys are fail on so many levels. Like, you can't even get the contestants to back you up on the claim, so you just yell at them until they admit that she's a bitch, and you can't show footage of it. Like, really.
Wow. So what happened to her?
Oh, she managed to get into the competition, but of course her vote rates were lower because everybody thinks, oh, she might be a bitch.
That's lame.
It's terrible. It's so unfair.
Yeah.
But it's also bad reality TV. I'm less annoyed at the fact that it's unfair for her than I am annoyed at the fact that this is terrible reality TV.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
See, I know some rules. TV making.
Anyway.
It's okay, Dimitri. It's okay.
It's very frustrating. And I guess which means it's time for the Electric Boogaloo Factory, speaking of frustrating. So we tried to... the Electric Boogaloo Factory, for those of you who don't know, is when we take a franchise that doesn't deserve a sequel and try to make a sequel for it. Now, obviously, game shows are not movies. They're not going to have sequels. It's like Jeopardy Part 2. Now you get the questions before the answer. Oh, wait, that's just a normal show. It doesn't really work. Sequels to games don't work. Just look at Tetris 2. Actually, that's it. Jeopardy Part 2 is the same game except with bombs.
Just add whammies, like, press your luck. I'll take potent portables for 600. Sorry, that's the whammy. You lose all your money.
So instead, what we decided to do is to take a movie franchise, a really bad one, hopefully, but and try to turn it into a game show.
Okay, let's see. There was a great movie that I hate, Billy Madison. We could make that into a game show. It'd be called "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?" No, it's already been done. Damn it.
I think it has. Although, you know what? I have to say, I would be very interested to see Adam Sandler face off against Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh, that'd be a good show.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
So let's see. What's the most recent movie I saw? Inception. Well, how could we make Inception into a game show? Well, as soon as the technology exists that we can jump into other people's dream, I guess we can make a pyramid thing, how many levels of dream can you go in, and each new level of dream you add, a prize level. For the first level, it's only $1,000. Second level, you win a car and $10,000 and so forth. If you can reach the fifth level, you win like $1 million. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. Although, you'd have to find an architect every time to sort of build those dream levels.
Oh, the architect gets like, a percentage of your prize every time, so he has to be good. The architect could be another contestant.
Oh, yeah. You know what would be great, though? For the Halloween episode, every once in a while, you have one more dream intruder hired by the show to screw with everyone, and he can be dressed like Freddy, just freak everybody out.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Welcome to the prime time, bitch.
I guess, yeah, you need somebody that jumped in the dream and tried to kill you, so that, you can't reach that fifth level. For every new level, you add more people that want to kill you, so that it's harder to get to the next level.
Yeah, but it's not that hard. Because really, all you have to do is make sure your opponent brings attention to themselves, and then the white cell people will try to get them out of there. So
that's true.
I foresee one problem. It's like, I take it you see it as a primetime 1 hour show if it's fifth level and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, just explaining the rules of the show and the exposition, according to the movie, would take about 2 hours and a half in and of itself. So,
oh, you make the first episode a 3-hour special, just demonstrating the show, and then after that you expect people to, to know the rules.
Yeah, but then when you reach the third level? Yeah, when you reach the third level, it doesn't make good TV because everybody's dressed in white and it's snow everywhere and you can't see jack.
That's true. That is true. But that level, you're kind of getting bored with the levels of dreams, so you don't really care about it anymore. You just want to see what the next prize is at the fourth level.
And you open the movie, it's like, it's a dreidel. I knew shouldn't have opened the safe. But you don't get it. Their dreidel represent denial. No, it's us. Also, it would be a problem because if you want to be faithful to the movie, nobody will ever actually know who wins at the end of the game. You know, it's like. On that note, if you want to share your thoughts about game shows or apparently race issues in Canada, you can write us at mail@idiomatic.com or post a comment at idiomatic.com just below the episode. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Twitter. And we're also on iTunes. See you next time.
See you next week.